We're back. That's right. 2 days. That's what I promised. And here we are. City County Council meeting. I wasn't there, which I'm very happy that I was not, because I saw a few pictures from it and I would have been very annoyed just by the smell. These pro Palestine people very rarely take showers, and you can tell. And now we understand why Jesse smells like onions and throw up and poo poo. So I went to a different thing, but we're going to cover the entire video. I heard there was some cray going on, but let's just get to it.
Good evening. I'll now call to order the City County Council meeting for Monday, July the 8th, 2024. And we will begin our meeting with a prayer and Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Krista Carlino.
Oh, Carlino. Lovely.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my distinct honor today to be joined by Pastor Charles Neal of Brookside Community Church. He is the re-entry pastor and an amazing community servant, serving the Near East Side and largely the entire east side of Indianapolis. I've had the pleasure of working with him and watch him volunteering in our community, and tonight I'm thankful for him to be here to bless this meeting. Pastor Neal.
To all of the city councilmen and councilwomen, and to all of the distinguished citizens here in Indianapolis, Indiana, thank you for giving us this opportunity. Let us pray. God of creation, oh God, we come humbly to you, inconclusively of old world religions.
Wait, what?
Thank you for the ability to assemble ourselves together as your people, as culture, climate, and as citizens of the great state of Indiana and Indianapolis, Indiana. We pray today, oh God, for structure. We pray today, oh God, for the courage to stand and the wisdom to make decisions that needs to happen in our beautiful city. I pray for every councilman and every councilwoman. Build them up on every leaning side. I pray that you would use them to the glory and the righteousness of your name. God of creation, we thank you, we worship, and we praise your name, and we will never forget what you have done, and thus have given us the mission to move forward in our city to be what you have asked us to be. And so we are granted today to have the opportunity to come together with many to one to be what you have asked us to be in this great city of Indianapolis.
She's
Indiana.
laughing right now.
Lord, we thank you.
She's laughing right now.
Thank you today. And that we will have the humility to humanize one another and not to demonize each other, but that we can collectively come together as one in our beautiful city to be what you have asked us to be, that you will be glorified, and that all of us will be edified to be built up. In Christ's name, amen.
Well then, now I kind of wish I did go. No comments, no comments.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it...
Make sure you pay attention to who has their hand over their heart. We know that Jesse Brown does it. I have seen multiple times where little twerp Andy Nielsen hasn't. And I don't think I saw Carlino.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, you see all the Palestine, those dysgenic freaks over here. I usually sit over here, and I would have had to smell them. Gross. And not just that. I want to point something out, because this is what happened last time too. They had this giant Palestine flag in front of me, and I couldn't see anything. So when you have all these signs over here, guess what, morons? They can't see them. The cameras can't see them. And sure, the councilmen will see them, but who cares? You're just rude. I'm there because I want to see what's going on. Look at me. I'm doing something. I got to
Councilors, please
sign up.
select your green button to indicate your attendance.
I saw Jessica McCormick showed up late. Shocker. Wait a minute here. Is this true?
There are 23 councilors present. Vice President Brown and Chairman Evans have asked to be excused for the evening.
So wait, Jared Evans, who has no job and lives with his parents, couldn't make it to the full council meeting. And you're telling me the vice president of the council did not show up either? Inexcusable, lazy morons.
We have no guests with us this evening who are not already part of the agenda. So the next item on our agenda is official communications. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President.
He's so lost. Oh?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are hereby notified that regular meetings of the City County Council,
Jolly Rancher,
Police,
you're
Fire,
welcome.
and Solid Waste Collection Special Service District Councils will be held in the City County Building in the Public Assembly Room on Monday, July 8th, 2024 at 7 o'clock p.m. The purposes of such meetings being to conduct any and all business that may properly come before regular meetings of the councils. Sincerely, Bob Osley, President, City County Council. Ladies and gentlemen,
Boys
pursuant
and
to the
girls of
law
all
of the State of
ages.
Indiana, I cause to be published in the Court and Commercial Record and in the Indianapolis Star on Friday, June 21st, 2024, a copy of a notice of public hearing on proposal number 189, 2024, said hearing to be held on Monday, July 8th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the Public Assembly Room of the City County Building. On Friday, July 5th, 2024, a copy of notice of public hearing on proposal numbers 201 and 202, 2024, said hearing to be held on Monday, July 15th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. in the Public Assembly Room of the City County Building. Respectfully, Yolanda Winfield, Clerk of the City County Council. Ladies and gentlemen, I have approved with my signature and delivered this day to the Clerk of the City County Council, Yolanda Winfield, the following ordinances. Fiscal Ordinance Numbers 1 and 2, 2024. General Ordinance Numbers 16 through 21, 2024. Special Ordinance Numbers 4 and 5, 2024. General Resolution Numbers 16 through 20, 2024. And Special Resolution Numbers 17 and 18, 2024. Joseph H. Hogsett, Mayor. Mr. President, this concludes the official communications.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The next item on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have consent? Next item on our agenda is approval of the journals for June the 3rd, 2024. Do I have consent? Let's proceed then to presentation of petitions, memorials, special resolutions, and this first item on our agenda is proposal number 188, which recognizes FACE, Low-Cost Animal Clinic.
I do like that money is being spent on this.
Thank you, Mr. President. And any guests?
Calm down, Carlino. Obviously, all of you know that I am very against wasting taxpayers' money, but this is something that I can get on board with. The FACE, I've known a lot of people that have used it. They wanted to keep their pet for neutering, or there's some problems that they were having, and FACE was around and able to get it for quite a big discount, if not for free. Good on them, you know.
With our partners at FACE, please join here at the podium. Come on up. You can fill in anywhere along
Look at
the
Jesse.
lines, but
What an absolute clown.
here. Mr. President, we have a special resolution tonight honoring the 25th anniversary of our FACE Animal Clinic, and I am honored to be joined tonight by Councilor Roberts and Councilor Brown as well. Tonight, we, the City County Council, offer special resolution number 19, whereas Face Low Cost Animal Clinic opened its doors in 1999, and since then, Face has directly contributed to driving down the animal euthanasia rate in Marion County by completing more than 307,000 spay-neuter surgeries. And whereas Face is supported
All right,
and
well,
sustained
you
by
can
a
calm down
committed
there for a
army of
second.
volunteers and funders who are
So,
instrumental in making it
just so
possible
you
for
know,
this dedicated team
there
to
was, if all of you forgot,
and whereas Face
someone
also
had
provides
adopted
spay-neuter
a
and wellness
pit bull
services for the
from
Indianapolis
IACS from like
community
2 years
to
ago.
prevent the unnecessary euthanasia
And
of dogs and
I
cats.
think like a few
And
days
whereas
later,
cats have a
they had, the dog wouldn't stop barking, so they strung it up on their front rafters and they stabbed it to death. Now, this has always been my argument, and some of you can disagree all you want. I don't care. But those people that did that horrific act should be executed because that's how they treat life. And what kind of people are they going to be in regular society if they are willing to do something so brutal and psychopathic to an innocent animal that they had just adopted? We don't need those people in society. And people like Jesse Brown, people like Carlino, who has no problem with illegals coming into this country and raping women and taking our jobs. And then Nick Roberts, who lives with his parents and has no full-time job. Those people are okay with people like Zach Tempson, the person who stabbed a dog, and then all his moronic psychopath friends that were around and did nothing about it. They don't have a problem with those people. They want them part of society. So it is a little bit interesting and disgusting that they're like, oh no, we really care about animals, but we also don't care about when an adopted dog or adopted animal gets stabbed to death. Just remember that. Carlino, Roberts, Jesse Brown, they're all enemies of the people. They do not care.
City of Indianapolis and Marion County. City County Council, we proudly recognize the Face Low Cost Animal Care Clinic. We also congratulate Face for their success in driving down the animal euthanasia rate in Marion County.
Can you just say that?
And the mayor is invited to join in this special resolution by affixing his signature here too, which he has done.
I'm there in spirit. I'm there with my signature, so therefore I am there.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Back to the speaker.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. And I know there's been a lot of talk about animal welfare in our community, and Face is a huge partner to our city shelter. The medical support, namely, is absolutely critical. And so tonight, it warms me to have the volunteers, have the staff, and have the funders with us today. And if we might spare a couple of words after our vote.
Please.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Councilors Carlino, Roberts, and Brown
Wait a
for
minute.
joining
Is that the woman from The Office? What's her name?
Face, and all of Council for joining Face in celebrating 25 years of service in our community. As Councilor Carlino indicated, dogs and cats are very prolific. One cat can indeed have 18 kittens in 1 year. One dog can
Phyllis.
have 12 puppies
Phyllis.
in 1 year. If we are going to stop the tidal wave of animals entering our city shelter and reduce the burden on our city shelter, we must start making spay-neuter a priority. And that is the core of our mission and has been for 25 years. But we cannot do it alone. So I invite all of you to reach out and visit the clinic, because our work impacts the dogs and cats that we share this beautiful city with, but also the people who love them. So thank you so much for recognizing our team's hard work and believing in spay-neuter.
These for you to keep, and a token on behalf of the council.
They're giving like a house key? Is that what it is?
More pins as well.
See, look at this. Look at this garbage right here. They're just so freaking rude. Like, there's people that are there to check things out, and they're like, you know what? No, I'm making a statement, man. Check out my sign, bro. I'm totally brave. So strong and brave with my sign.
Highly recommend visiting. It's I learned so much, and I was extremely humbled. Thank you.
Well, to be fair, you are a moron.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
And totally out of touch with reality.
This next item, proposal number 226, recognizes Noble Inc. and their commitment to empowering individuals with disabilities to achieve their life-affirming dreams and goals.
Did I hear a chirp? Yeah, there it is again.
Chairwoman.
Madam Chairwoman, I'm gonna have you go first because I'll introduce Wade at the end. So I kind of, yeah. So please go ahead. We have everyone? Come on down. Thank you. Nice crowd here tonight.
Well, they're not here for you, pal.
Yeah.
This is why these meetings take so long. You're just there
All
to
right, we'll get
stand.
started. Thank you, colleagues. So tonight we have a special resolution recognizing Noble Inc. And start with Chairwoman Carlino.
Thank you, Councilor Nielsen. Again, Mr. President, we offer tonight special resolution number 20, whereas prior to the 1950s, individuals with disabilities were shunned from society, either institutionalized or hidden at a home.
Hey, really think about that for a second.
However, a group of parents who rejected that advice came together on February 10, 1953 at the Indiana War Memorial with the goal to provide for their children with disabilities what society would not: an education.
Huh?
And therefore, on September 1st,
Ugh.
1953,
All right, you
the
guys.
Noble School was founded and welcomed its first class of 31 students. Named for its location within the historic Cole Noble neighborhood because they felt this was a noble endeavor. Noble School flourished to serve school-aged children, and as these students grew up, families were determined to foster their continued growth and independence. In 1960, Noble opened a shelter workshop for adults with disabilities, demonstrating their capabilities to the business community and their value as part of the workforce. And oh, that's my name again, forgive me. Whereas in 1966, the Marion County Commissioners and the Marion County Council, now the City County Council, took the first step in extending the public support to Noble. State legislation in the late 1960s provided the council with the ability to support Noble even further and consistently ever since. And
With what, though?
Thank you. Whereas in 1973, following a federal mandate requiring public schools to include all children, regardless of disability, Noble shifted its focus to babies and toddlers. The organization became the first in the state to provide vital early intervention therapies to children with developmental delays in their homes rather than a clinical environment. And whereas in 1986, Noble launched the state's first supported employment service, providing adults with disabilities the opportunity to join our community's workforce as valuable employees in businesses throughout central Indiana, Noble built on this service with the launch of Noble Employment and Workforce Services that provides on-site teams to maximize the efficiency of local businesses, and recently opened its new career center downtown to offer career exploration and training services. And
whereas Noble continues to expand its array of services to meet the changing needs of our community, including summer camps for school-aged children, community living, residential services to help adults live more independently, music, behavior, and recreation therapy for all ages, a variety of employment services that empower people to achieve their career goals. And its new...
It's a nonprofit, isn't it?
Sorry. 2Gen Family Support Services to bridge the generational gap and empower families of children with disabilities to achieve greater economic independence. And whereas Noble continues its service in fulfilling the promise of its tagline by empowering people with disabilities to dream it and live it now, therefore.
Be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana, Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council proudly recognizes Noble Inc. Section 2, the council appreciates and values Noble's 70 years of partnership with local government and over 200 organizations and businesses to empower individuals with disabilities to achieve their life-affirming dreams and goals. Section 3, the mayor is invited to join in this resolution by affixing his signature here too, which he has. Section 4, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon adoption in compliance with Indiana Code 363414. Mr. President, I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Back to the speakers.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, colleagues, for your support this evening. I'm privileged to be the district councilor for Noble's headquarters on 21st Street on Indianapolis's east side. And tonight I have Wade Wingler, who's the CEO and president of Noble, who will offer a few brief remarks, if Mr. President would accept. And I want to be sure to also recognize former Marion County Clerk and State Senator Billy Breaux. So, Wade.
Billy Breaux, wait a minute.
I'll be quick. You have a lot to do tonight. My name is Wade Wingler, and I'm blessed and honored to be the CEO at Noble. I would like to extend a special thanks to Councilors Barth, Nielsen, Carlino, and Jones, and this entire body. 70 years ago, a group of parents got together on the War Memorial lawn because kids with disabilities didn't go to public school. And very quickly thereafter, they formed what we now know as Noble, which is the Noble School. And later this year, we've actually found the original location on East North Street, and we're going to have a little shindig. So if you'd like to join us there to celebrate our 70th year, where the thing actually started, we would love to have you on August 28th.
So check this out. Billy Breaux is the mother of Jean Breaux. Jean Breaux just died, in March. And now Lakeisha Jackson has replaced her through caucus. This is just like Andre Carson. Julia Carson, the mom, was in Congress, and then Andre Carson took over. It's just this whole legacy garbage. And I don't want to hear through Democrats bitching about Republicans, because Democrats do the same freaking thing.
But it wasn't long after that founding that this body came together to support us as an organization and the work that we do for thousands of individuals with disabilities, and we've been doing that for generations. So we are so grateful to continue our partnership. We value and cherish the support that this group provides to us, and we are just so grateful for your recognition, for your ongoing support, and for saying nice things about us tonight. So thank you so very much.
So Wade is also a professor at IU. And he was a professor at Purdue.
The next item on our agenda is proposal number 246, which supports the allocation of funds in the 2025 city-county budget for the preservation of urban forest.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear about this one.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight we have a special resolution, proposal 246, that we ask for our council's support this evening. As a city council, we request that the 2025 city budget include funding to purchase at-risk urban forests in Marion County and to add to the Indy Parks inventory. Why this? Why now?
Yeah, why now?
The urgency of this situation cannot be overstated. We have 4,300 forest areas in Marion County, which is defined by an acre of woods. There's at least 4 urban large forest areas at risk currently, with the owners of these parcels ready to sell for conservation purposes.
Conservation, sure. Sounds like this guy's had the land for a long time and he's ready to retire on it.
but they need the city as a partner to make this happen.
They need the city to buy the land,
If we find
aka taxpayers.
funding, our city will retain and protect these ecological gems, which again will be added to our parks and greenways.
So who's going to maintain it? The taxpayers. Do we have the money to maintain it? No. Spoiler alert, we don't. So what does that mean? That means we're going to have to raise taxes somehow.
If we're unable to secure this necessary financing, the potential loss of these legacy forests will be staggering. Just with these four
Will it though? You know what they're probably going to do. This is my theory right now. They're going to buy it, right? And then they're going to use carbon credits so they can make the money back.
identified forests, over 130 acres of deep Indianapolis forests could be lost. This is part of a larger issue, as Marion County currently has 50 square miles of forest that are not protected by our park or greenway system. We cannot afford to lose any more.
I'm sure.
The average city has about 15% of its total forest within its park system. Indianapolis, we have only 5%. Again, why this resolution? Why now? Well, 38% of our Indianapolis residents live in an area where the urban heat island effect raises temperatures by 8 degrees or more, per analysis by research group Climate Central.
What he's saying is there's not enough trees for shade. That's all he's saying.
These urban heat islands affect 465,000 people in Marion County alone.
So there's no trees already, but somehow this is going to make things better? Okay, Bootsy.
With every urban forest lost, this terrible problem will simply grow worse.
They're just going to use it to build more apartments, man.
Urgency, again, of the situation cannot be overstated. As a recent editorial stated in cities like Indianapolis, the preservation of existing trees would go a long way toward keeping the city livable for human beings as well as for wildlife. Planting new trees is also essential.
There you go.
As this writer points out, newly planted saplings can help, but with nowhere near the same effectiveness as mature trees. And yet we have somehow gotten the idea that planting a tree in urban and suburban areas has the same practical effect and, I dare say, moral force as preserving an existing tree.
Well, you can. If it's more moral to preserve the tree than planting a new one. Is that what you're saying? No, I think it's good to keep the preservation of the existing trees, but if you really want to fix some of the stuff, you'll just plant more trees, but you won't.
So again, why this resolution? Well, back in late 2022, this same prior term council passed another special resolution about carbon credits
Here it
in
is.
urban forests.
Man, what'd I just say?
Proposal
Dude, am I the best? Yeah, I think I'm awesome.
397, or Special Resolution 34, directed at carbon credits. The digest of that proposal read, supports the development of mechanisms intended to protect and generate revenue for maintenance of urban trees, or urban forests, and trees throughout the city of Indianapolis and Marion County. In 2025, I submit that we should be able to have the funding after all these years to start saving our urban forests.
Where's the money
Thrive
coming from?
Indy plan, our master greenways plan, our master long-term plan for city parks all include maintaining and acquiring forests.
Yeah, but
and
with what
preserving
money?
Wooded, indigenous, legacy trees instead of scraping, developing, and then planting 2-inch saplings and thinking that's the equivalent for a mature forest. It falls far short. So our city has a choice. We can save our urban forests or lose them, acre by acre. The research is very clear. Urban forests are difference makers for residents. They retain and attract talent. They help for mental health. They help for physical health. They preserve wildlife habitat. They provide incredible natural stormwater control.
Until the branches break off, and then they're clogging up storm drains that are never cleaned out.
Spend millions every year in gray infrastructure, i.e. concrete, to control stormwater. Why not spend a few million protecting green infrastructure?
Good God,
nature
you're an idiot.
That protects our lands from flooding by natural absorption. That's the way the earth was formed, and that's how it should exist.
Dude, you are such a freaking moron. I'm trying not to cuss, by the way. I'm doing my best not to cuss right now. But Boots is an absolute dope. Oh, yeah. Grass would do the same thing, okay?
A robust urban forest and tree presence.
And by the way, he lives in an area where there's really no trees. So it's same thing with Barth, same thing with Boots, same thing with every dipshit in this who's up there right now. They all live in areas that don't have any trees. They're a bunch of hypocrites.
This is various positive outcomes I had mentioned, while also the studies show lower crime and lower stormwater and energy costs, as well as reducing flooding risk and overheating risk.
I already debunked the crime thing. Boots is just a moron. This is why none of these, by the way, this is why none of these people ever want to have a debate, because they will lose so bad and their argument will just get turned upside down. It's why Moa doesn't want to have a debate. It's why Jesse Brown doesn't want to have a debate. It's why Kristen Jones doesn't email me back, or Justin McCormick, who has never emailed me back and has blocked me on Facebook. Same thing with Jared Evans. He blocked me on Facebook and has refused to email me back.
It's been said that we can't solve climate change with trees alone, but I submit we cannot solve climate change without trees.
How did you get to the city-county building today, Bootsy? Was it by bus? Was it by bike? Or was it through your gas-guzzling vehicle?
Another study states in communities that have thriving urban forests, you often see higher incomes, higher numbers of jobs associated with those communities.
What study?
And higher productivity of workers. Above and beyond higher property values.
Okay.
Indianapolis has long been, for 35 years running, a Tree City USA, a proud designation that the mayor's administration has long fought for. 14 times we've been identified as a growth award within that system. Indianapolis has also signed up to be a 10-minute walk city, meaning citizens should have a 10-minute walk.
What's that? What was that? Ken, are you watching this? Are you listening right now? They are promoting the 15-minute city. Oh, actually, we want less than that. We want it to be 10 minutes. What have we been saying? We've been saying this for a long time, that they want to turn Indianapolis into a 15-minute city. And now he's blatantly saying it.
To either a park, a trail, or a green space. Yet, in Indianapolis, that number is only 36%, far below the national average.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So I ask for your support tonight on this resolution, and we ask Mayor Hogsett to include substantial funding in the 2025 budget to purchase at-risk urban forests and place them in our Indy Parks inventory.
I should email him right now and find out are you willing to raise taxes? Actually, you know what?
With that, special resolution number 21, 2024 is a proposal for a special resolution to support the allocation in the 2025 city-county budget of necessary costs needed to preserve urban forests in Indianapolis. Whereas living near green spaces is proven to make residents more physically active, have extended lifespans, report reduced stress levels, and greater overall well-being, and whereas city trees, especially forests, cool summer heat and filter pollution in air and water, and
Whereas urban forests are safe havens for sensitive plants, wildlife, while increasing property values, and whereas Indianapolis's 4,300 forest areas, defined as 1 acre or more of trees, generate over $260 million a year in public benefits, including flood control, air and water quality improvements, higher property values, enhanced quality of life, and whereas 4% of Indianapolis city land is used for parks and recreation, far less than the national median of 15%, and whereas only 9 out of Marion County's 59 square miles of urban forests are currently protected.
All right, shut up, Mark. All right, if you really want to know, here's what I'm doing. Are you okay with raising taxes to purchase the $6 million worth of urban forest? Everybody knows my email. Yeah. Green space. To Dan Boots. Submitting. Cool. There we go.
In the park system, and
Whereas Mayor Hogsett has signed on for Indianapolis to become a 10-minute walk city, but only 36%
Kristen Jones also doesn't email me back either.
of Indianapolis residents live within a 10-minute walk of a park, which is far below the national urban average. And whereas plans such as Thrive Indianapolis and the White River Vision Plan call for carbon mitigation and the acquisition of forest as steps to make the city more resilient to the impacts of climate change. And
this is what they're doing, though. These people are acting like the aristocrats, like they're the moral high ground for all of this, even though they're a bunch of hypocrites. You think Dan over here, you think he's going to be walking anywhere? No, this guy doesn't walk. This guy doesn't bike at all. This guy drives everywhere like the rest of these people. And so if you combine their 15-minute city, which you're going to be saying it's for the urban forest, which really they're going to be using for carbon credits, and then they want the Vision Zero plan, which is very anti-car, you're basically just making this into this dystopian nightmare of you're going to have to be recorded of what you're doing, and you're only you're only allowed to be in this certain area. Which we know they're trying to do with the Mile Square. They want that to be a full security area. That's what's part of their whole economic enhancement district. I'm curious of what they're going to do with the homeless people, though. Come on, Nielsen. Little twerp.
Whereas Marion County ratepayers have spent $2 billion on the Dig Indy project to address the city's combined sewer overflow problem, and with concerns that climate change has created the need for an even bigger tunnel system, it is fiscally wise to preserve our urban forests, as they are the best and least expensive way to absorb excessive stormwater runoff. And
what are you talking about?
Whereas the Indiana Forest Alliance's Forest for Indy campaign has initially identified certain priority forest areas in Indianapolis estimated to be valued at up to $6 million that are at risk of commercial development, and whereas the current owners of at least 4 significant urban forests all indicate a desire to sell these forests to the city for conservation, and
who owns them? That's what I want to know.
And whereas time is of the essence for the city to acquire these properties before they are lost to development. And whereas the City Council passed Special Resolution number 34 of 2022, which was proposal number 397, 2022, Section 4, stating that the council supports approaches to fund, acquire, and protect urban forests in Indianapolis. Now, therefore,
be it resolved that by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council hereby commits to support the development of a land acquisition, preservation, and maintenance plan and timeline that includes investigating local, state, and federal funding sources, investigating how this plan fits into the comprehensive plan of the Parks Departments and the comprehensive plan of the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and investigating the additional resources needed to accomplish the goals of this plan to begin no later than the second quarter of 2025.
Yeah, we'll see.
Section 2, the Indianapolis City County Council commits to reviewing the 2025 and future budgets for discretionary funding for equitably preserving, acquiring, and maintaining these urban forests as part of the City of Indianapolis's park system, and supports allocating funds in the 2025 and future budgets for such forest land acquisition purposes. This resolution shall be in effect from and after its passage by the council and in compliance with Indiana Code 363414. Mr. President, I so move.
Second. Motion's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries. Back to the speakers.
Dude, it's just being introduced, man. That's literally it. That's all that's happening. Nothing's actually done. Nothing. What are you cheering for, you morons?
Thank you, Mr. President. If I may, tonight we're joined by several folks from Indiana Forest Alliance. Yes, and we have one speaker, if I may, have the Executive Director and President of the Indiana Forest Alliance, Jeff Stantz.
Very good. Thank you.
I want to tell you why this is happening.
We are deeply grateful to all the counselors, Jared Evans, Dan Boots, Jesse Brown, Brianna Delaney, John Barth. I just met you 6 months ago. Kristen Jones and Andy Nielsen, my counselor, and behind me, Jessica McCormick, for sponsoring this, and to all of you for supporting it.
You think these morons actually ride a bike? Look at McCormick. She's aged like milk.
Called for the city to do under bipartisan mayoralships now for more than the past 2 decades. And it is also about equity. It's about recognizing that most of the residents of Indianapolis need a good park system near them. They don't have the money to fly to Bermuda or to the Yellowstone.
You
or
do.
Jackson Hole.
Really? Because where was Jared Evans at right now? John Barth is traveling around the country. Why doesn't he use his millions of dollars that he has to help fund this shit?
Or even down to the Smokies. They get their recreation at the Southeast Way Park.
You know what he's saying right now? Sorry, poor people. You can't go to Yellowstone? I can't give it... the park is all I can get you. It's like that Pawn Stars meeting.
Or Riverside
Best I can
or
do is
Grassy
Rhodius Park.
And we need to invest in these places for the people of
Sorry,
Indianapolis.
pleb.
So thank you very much for this.
Dude, he's mocking poor
let's hope
people
that
right now.
The administration can find a way to start this process. Thank you.
That's what he's saying right now. Hey, you know, there's a lot of poor people out there that can't go to a French Lick, but we can invest in a park. You know, we're going to use your tax-paying money, your tax-paying dollars that we could give back to you, so maybe you could go on vacation. No. We got to limit you to just going to this park. People like me, not me, but if I was John Barth and all those other clowns, I can go somewhere else, but you're not allowed to because I'm an aristocrat. I am very important. But sorry, poor people, you're not allowed to go anywhere. But we'll give you a park. This is the reason why things are a little bit messed up. All right, I had to find this again. So this gives the breakdown. I'm gonna do a separate video talking about this, but this is a breakdown. This is from indianastats.edu, and this is the breakdown by township and Marion County by itself from 2020 to 2023. They've lost about 8,200 people from July 1st, 2020 to 2023. Now, if you figure, so the average wage per person in Marion County is like 40 grand or something. If you do the math on it, I mean, you're talking about like $65 million, or I think it's actually more like a couple $100 million, whatever it is. Do the math on it, but they don't have that tax revenue anymore that they can do. This is why this has been my argument why they're now talking about the road funding. The road funding was never a conversation pre 2020. Maybe they talked about it a little bit in 2019, but I can't really find any bills before 2020 that talked about redoing the road funding formula. And it's because they don't have enough people. Everybody's moving out, and I talked about this before. They're all moving to the outside counties. Like what Mike Hicks was saying. No, actually, people like high taxes, high effective property rate. No, they're just moving somewhere else. And here's something that people forget. You think poor people are able to move out of Marion County and move to Hamilton County, where like the average house is like $500,000? No, they're not. So you know that that money is going to another county, which it's probably more like uh, $500 million if I had to just throw a number out there for how much money is leaving Marion County. And they want to do all these projects, but they don't have the money for it. And it's because people are leaving. If you would just do the basic crap that the government is supposed to do, all of this would be fixed. Just basic law enforcement, basic accountability. These DEI initiatives and there's all these affirmative action hires are part of the reason why things are so messed up. And then you have a mayor who is totally checked out, but his donors wanted him to have another term in there. But where are they going to come up with the money? They're going to have to rely on these carbon credits, which we know are a giant scam, or they're going to have to raise taxes because they're not hidden. I want to make sure that I'm very clear on something too with my campaign run. I want to eliminate property taxes. I want people to have their money back. But Democrats do not want that to happen. They don't want to get rid of the gas tax because they require it for funding, and they definitely don't want to get rid of the property tax because they need that money so they can buy stupid crap like this. Did the Palestine people leave too?
Very good. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 139, referred to Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee. Chairman Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. President. With consent, I'd like to take 139, 176, 196, 197. Thank you. Mr. President, proposal 139, 2024 reappoints Catherine Wiles to the Assessment Intervention Center, the IC Advisory Board. That proposal passed 7-0. Proposal 176, 2024 appoints Ebony Chappelle to the Alcoholic Beverage Board of Marion County. That proposal passed 9-0. Proposal 196, 2024 appoints Lieutenant Larry Pete Atkins to the Domestic Violence Fatality Review Team. That proposal passed 8-0. And Mr. President, proposal 197, 2024 appoints Kathleen Meek to the Juvenile Detention Center Advisory Board. That proposal passed out of committee 9-0. Mr. President, I so move all four of those proposals.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let us proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 23-0. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 199, referred to Municipal Corporations Committee. Chairwoman Carlino.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 199 appoints Abby Homan to the Indianapolis Public Transportation Corporation, or Indigo, Board of Trustees. The committee passed this proposal with a vote of 7-0, and I so move.
Second.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors?
Look, the whole room is
Seeing
emptied
none,
out
let's
now.
proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 23-0. The next item on our agenda is introduction of proposals. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 203, 2024, introduced by Councilor Osili, was referred to Administration and Finance Committee. Amends Chapter 202, Article 4, Office of Minority and Women Business Development to create an office title change and tracking of local small business enterprise firms for better market analysis and statistics for future program development.
Basically, we need to make sure that our affirmative action contracts are where they're supposed to be. So we need to invest more money to find more small business owners that are black-owned, woman-owned, or veteran-owned.
Proposals 201, 202, 204 through 207, and 247 through 250 were referred to the Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee. Proposal number 201, 2024, introduced by Councilors Osili, Lewis, Jones, and Jesse Brown, repeals Chapter 121, Article 10 of the Code, the Mile Square Economic Enhancement District, and creates Chapter 121, Article 11, entitled Economic Enhancement District. Proposal number 202, 2024, introduced by Councilor Gibson, amends a declaratory resolution and redevelopment plan of the Metropolitan Development Commission for the purposes of 1, expanding the greater Martindale-Brightwood housing redevelopment area to include an enlarged area. 2, designating the expanded area as the expanded greater Martindale-Brightwood housing redevelopment area. 3, establishing the Reagan Park Housing TIF allocation area as an allocation area for the purposes of capturing incremental assessed value as provided under Indiana Code 36-7-15-1. And 4, amending the original redevelopment plan with the amended plan as defined in the declaratory resolution. Proposal number 204, 2024, introduced by Councilor Jones, approves the statement of benefits of the TWG Development, LLC, an applicant for tax abatement for property located in an economic revitalization area. Proposal number 205, 2024, introduced by Councilor Jones, amends the code to add Chapter 852, Indianapolis Short-Term Rental Permit Program. Proposal number 206, 2024, introduced by Councilor Mascari, amends Special Ordinance Number 9, 2021, relating to the approval of the execution of a lease with the Indianapolis-Marion County Building Authority for a new animal care shelter facility.
That whole rental thing, I was at a neighborhood meeting last night, and they were talking about it. Apparently it has like no teeth. And it's really, it's funny, Mascari has Garfield Park in his district, and I talked to people in Garfield Park, and they're not. I'm sure they're not gonna like me that much, but I do offer some good ideas, and I don't know if they are aware of some things because they're trying to be very progressive, but like you have to be firm and fair. So that whole short-term rental thing is about landlord registration. I don't know how well it's going to work. Just like this whole, you have to register as a breeder kind of ordinance. Yeah, we'll see how well that turns out. If we know anything,
207, 2020.
if we know anything of this administration and the people and the guy that runs IMPD, that nothing is going to get enforced. Unless they're VNS, then you're enforcing everything.
Introduced by Councilors Roberts, Barth, Osili, Allie Brown, Lewis, Jones, Gibson, Allen, Nielsen, and Jesse Brown. Amends Chapter 531 of the Code regarding animals to allow for the registry of unaltered dogs.
Nothing will happen with that. You have to enforce it. And are you going to be able to enforce it? You won't even enforce the basic traffic laws.
Proposal number 247, 2024, introduced by Councilor Lewis, reappoints Peggy Frame to the Greater Virginia Avenue Corridor Economic Improvement District Board. Proposal number 248, introduced by Councilor Lewis, reappoints Kelly Margot to the Greater Virginia Avenue Corridor Economic Development District Board. Economic Improvement District Board. Proposal number 249, 2024, introduced by Councilor Lewis, reappoints Michael Taft to the Greater Virginia Avenue Corridor Economic Improvement District Board. Proposal number 250, 2024, introduced by Councilor Lewis, reappoints Brad Vogelsmere to the Greater Virginia Avenue Corridor Economic Improvement District Board. Proposals number 208 and 209 were referred to the Municipal Corporations Committee. Proposal number 208, 2024, introduced by Councilor Ali Brown, approves the issuance of general obligation bonds for the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library in original aggregate principal amount not to exceed $6,350,000 for the long-term capital maintenance and equipment upgrade project to improve patron experience and provide better access to information.
What?
Proposal number 209, 2024, introduced
The municipal meeting was tonight. I'll do the video on it tomorrow.
by Councilor Ali Brown, approves the appropriation of proceeds and investment earnings of the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library General Obligation Bonds in an original aggregate principal amount not to exceed $6,350,000 for the purpose of financing all or any portion of the 2024 long-term capital maintenance and equipment update project. Proposals 210 and 225 were referred to the Rules and Public Policy Committee. Proposal number 210, introduced by Councilor Robinson, directs the Rules and Public Policy Committee to review and prepare a report pertaining to the fiscal impact statement associated with the IMPD Civilian AFSCME Union Agreement. Proposal number 225, 2024.
Maori is already leaving, getting ready to leave. We only got like 20 minutes left, boys. Less than 20 minutes left.
Commission on Artificial Intelligence to complete its work and draft its final recommendations.
That one I'm looking forward to. I was on Mouthwash talking to Michael Paul Hart about that whole thing. I'm really curious about where that's going to go to. Because the whole point was trying to take care of emergency calls so there's less of a wait time.
Proposals 211 through 224 and 252 were referred to the Public Works Committee. Proposal number 211, 2024, introduced by Councilor Hart, approves weight limit restrictions on Mid-Halfer Road from East Washington Street to Prospect Street and on Prospect Street from South Post Road to South County Line Road 800 West, District 20. Proposal number 212, 2024, introduced by Councilors Barth and Gibson, authorizes a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour along Delaware Street from Penway Street to 40th Street, District 7 and 8.
Okay,
Proposal
cool. So what are you going to do?
13
What are you going to do when people are speeding? Are you going to...
2024,
What do I even say
introduced
it
by
for?
Councilor
We all know
Boots,
what the answer
authorizes a speed limit reduction
I'm
to
still
25
gonna
miles
say
per
it.
hour in the Heritage Park subdivision, Division 3, District 3. Proposal number 214, 2024, introduced by Councilor Mascari, authorizes a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour along Red Fern Drive from Sherman Drive to 9th Avenue, District 19. Proposal number 215, 2024, introduced by Councilor Ane, authorizes a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Rosebrook Estates subdivision, District 22. Proposal number 216, 2024, introduced by Councilor Ane, authorizes a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Plantation Meadows subdivision, District 22.
All I heard was plantation.
Proposal number 217, 2024, introduced by Councilor Ane, approves a request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interests for the Bluff Road reconstruction project, which property is owned by Jerry Hornback. Proposal number 218, 2024, introduced by Councilor Ane, approves a request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interests for the Bluff Road reconstruction project, which property is owned by Henry Arnold. Proposal number 219, 2024, introduced by Councilor McCormick, approves a request for the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interests for the Girls School Road from Perimeter Road to 21st Street project, which property is owned by Mart Family Properties 2 LLC. Proposal number 220, 2024, introduced by Councilor Evans, approves a request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interests for the Girls School Road from Perimeter Road to 21st Street project, which property is owned by...
I'm just going to mute you right now. I'm losing my mind here. This is like the most annoying part of being in these meetings
Is a
in
request
person.
of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain...
Doesn't make it any better just watching it.
Which property is owned by Dayton Hudson Corporation. Proposal number 222, 2024, introduced by Councilor Allen, approves a request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interests for preservation of the floodplain and future habitat restoration work, which property is owned by Rudolph and Anna Ruhana. Proposal number 223, 2024, introduced by Councilor McCormick, approves a request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interests for the Girls School Road from Perimeter Road to 21st Street project, which property is owned by Button Habit LLC. Proposal number 224, 2024, introduced by Councilors Barth, Nielsen, Jones, Evans, Delaney, Jesse Brown, Allen, Gibson, and Cahill, establishes the commitment of the city and county to eliminate traffic injuries and fatalities, establishing a Vision Zero task force, and commits to developing, adopting, and implementing a Vision Zero action plan.
You know, even if that were to start, it would take years for anything to start happening, because you'd have to build the board, and so that would take a year to figure out who's going to be on the board. Then you have to do 2 to 3 years of studies, and then you have to figure out, well, what will be the plan. So we have a year of building a plan, and then you have to start setting money aside for that plan. So at the very earliest, it would be 4 to 5 years.
Proposal number 252, 2024, introduced by Councilors Jones and Nielsen, appoints Leslie R. Schultz to the Board of Public Works. Proposal number 251, 2024, introduced by Councilor Robinson, referred to the Public Safety and Criminal Justice
There's no
Committee,
way you're going to do 10 more
reappoints
minutes
Wendy Tucker
of
to
just
the Early
reading out
Intervention Planning Council.
proposals.
Mr. President, this concludes the introduction.
Oh, thank God.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The next item on our agenda is special orders, priority business. Proposal numbers 227 through 245, 2024, are all rezonings that were certified to the Council for approval by the Metropolitan Development Commission. If no councilor wishes to call down any of these proposals, they will pass into law. Does anyone wish to call down any of these proposals? All right, seeing none, proposal numbers 227 through 245 will pass into law. We'll now proceed to special orders, public hearing, and proposal number 189, 2024. Rezoning ordinance was called down for a public hearing at our meeting on June the 3rd by District Councilor Kirsten Jones. I've been advised that there are some new developments regarding this rezoning matter, making a public hearing this evening unnecessary. Councilor Jones.
Huh?
Thank you, Mr.
It's about
President.
the soccer stadium?
I have received a statement from the petitioner in rezoning case 2024 ZON-12, proposal number 189, 2024, that indicates his wish to withdraw his rezoning petition and refile it, asking for a zoning classification that is acceptable to both the petitioner and the remonstrator. DMD has accepted this request to withdraw, and the withdrawal will be acknowledged by MDC at its meeting on July 17th. In this event that this compromise falls through, I ask that we continue this hearing until our August meeting. If on the 17th this request withdrawal is accepted by the MDC, the matter will be considered resolved and no hearing will be needed at our August meeting. Now, if there are no questions or comments from my fellow councilors, I move that we continue the public hearing for the rezoning case 2024-ZON-12, proposal number 189, 2024, until August 12th meeting.
All those in favor? All right. Any opposed? All right, very good. Proposal number 189 is therefore postponed till August the 12th, 2024. There is no business under special orders unfinished business, so now proceed to special orders final adoption. And this next item on our agenda is proposal number 177, referred to Metropolitan Economic Development Committee. Chairwoman Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 177 amends the code, adding a new chapter 565 regarding flood damage prevention to comply with federal regulations. The proposal passed out of committee by a vote of 8-0. Mr. President, I so move.
Motion has been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let us proceed to the board for a vote.
Everybody's so bored they're on their phone.
Motion carries 23-0.
Ugh.
The next item on our agenda
We're almost there,
proposal number
folks.
178, referred to Public Works Committee. Chairwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal 178, 2024, directed the Public Works Committee to review the Department of Public Works Complete Streets annual report as it is required by Revised Code Section 431-807B.
This is going to be boring. So anyway, so a few days ago I was going at it with Jesse Brownstein, and I mentioned about if DPW would spend their dollars correctly and not on DEI training, then there might be a better argument. And he thought I was talking about something else. And so I had to shove it down his stupid throat. I gave him the link to the video and the timestamp of when it happened, when Director Hergy, was she saying anything important?
Property is owned by William J. Sanders.
No. About him wanting to be the front runner and like have this new DEI training for, what was it, staff that had been there for a while. And then he didn't reply back because he knew that I was right after that. Because I'm the best. I do my research. I'm not a dipshit commie clown like Jesse is. And he smells. He smells terrible. Every time I'm around him, I can smell the onions and poop breath coming from him. It makes my eyes water. I'm getting PTSD just thinking about it right now.
Public Works to purchase certain real estate interests for the Bluff Road reconstruction project, which property is owned by Gary and Carlett M. Siebert. Councilor Gibson moves, second.
He also doesn't want to. All you have to do is enforce the law. But remember, he wants to defund the police by 10%. But he also says we should enforce the law. Because what he wants, get this, people. Hold on.
Proceed to the board for a vote.
Say anything important? No, never are. So he wants to have a civilian, kind of like a safety ambassador. He wants to have a civilian team to pull people over and issue tickets to people. I think it was like that. But he doesn't. I don't know if it was about issuing tickets, but
approves the request.
It was having civilians do the job that cops would normally. And most of the problems that cops run into is during traffic stops for traffic laws. So you're going to give civilians no way of protecting themselves. So if a civilian comes up to the door and they shoot through the door, you're not protected at all. Jesse doesn't want you having a gun. He doesn't want you having a bulletproof vest or anything. And I keep saying, then you need to do it yourself. You need to be part of the pilot program, including every ass clown that wanted that Vision Zero plan to happen. But you're not going to.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 180.
Because commies are lazy, socialists are morons, and they want everybody else to do the work. What I have come to the conclusion of communists are basically middle management. They are the laziest of lazy people. They just want everybody else to do the work.
82, 2024, to the full council with the due pass recommendation.
They're like, I'm the idea guy, man. You guys can go do the stuff. I'll come up with the ideas. I'm the manager.
Any comments from councilors?
But they never want to get their hands dirty.
All right, seeing none, let us proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 23-0. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 183, referred to Public Works Committee, Chairwoman Jones.
Again?
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 183,
This the Bluff
2024,
Road?
approves a request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interest for the Bluff Road reconstruction project.
Every time. There are like 10 proposals on this thing. We're going to spend 10 minutes just on this crap.
2024 to the full council.
I don't know what's going on over there,
The motion
but I
carried
haven't
by a
seen
vote of
any
7
work
to
going
0,
on in
and I
Bluff
so
Road.
move.
They're tearing the crap out of County Line, though.
Motion has been properly moved and seconded. Any comments from councilors? Councilor Nay.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I just wanted to say again, I know that my colleagues have heard the Bluff Road reconstruction project enough times you could probably play a drinking game to it. I would not support that. But anyway, I just wanted to thank my colleagues on the council, the administration, as well as those with the Department of Public Works for continuing to work on this project. I hope you know that myself and the residents of District 22 are grateful for your consideration and support of this project. And when this gets done and started, we'll be inviting all of you down to see what exactly the Bluff Road reconstruction project entails. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you very much. Are there any additional comments from councilors?
Funny enough, I just said it, then he brings that up.
Seeing none, let us proceed to the board for a vote.
Got like 5 more minutes, folks. Don't you worry. We're at the almost
Motion
ending the point.
carries 23
About to cross
to
the finish
0.
line.
The next item on our agenda is proposal number 184, referred to Public Works Committee, Chairwoman Jones.
Don't do it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Don't do it.
Proposal number 184 approves the request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interest for the Bluff Road
Again!
Owned by David O. Fishburne.
She's even laughing about it.
Councilor Cahill to send proposal number 184, 2024 to the full council with due pass recommendation. The motion carried by a vote of 7 to 0, and I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments from councilors? Seeing none, let's proceed to the board for a vote.
Is the last 5
Motion
minutes going to be
carries
about this Bluff
23
Road thing?
to
Because
0.
I'm about to lose my
The
mind.
next item on our agenda is proposal number 185, referred to Public Works Committee, Chairwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mr.
Don't
President.
do it.
Proposal number 185.
Don't do it.
Approves a request of the Department of Public Works to purchase certain real estate interest for the Rosedale Hills Drainage Improvement Project, which property is owned by the Bishop and Council of the Protestant Episcopal Church of the Diocese of Indianapolis.
Episcopal?
Council Cahill
Are those the ones
moves,
who can't eat
seconded by
fish?
Council Nielsen, to send proposal number 185, 2024 to the full council with the due pass recommendation. The motion carried by a vote of 7 to 0, and I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Comments from councilors? Seeing none, let us proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 23 to 0. And this next item on our agenda is proposal number 186, referred to Public Works Committee, Chairwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 186, 2024, authorizes various traffic control changes to chapters 441 and 621 of the revised code in support of public transit projects being carried out by the Indianapolis Public Transportation Corporation, Indigo, in accordance with IC 8-25 and IC 36-9-4. Councilor Evans moved, seconded by Councilor Nielsen, to send proposal number 186, 2024 to the full council with the due pass as amended recommendation. The motion carried by a vote of 7 to 1, and I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let us proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 17 yeas and 6 nays. The next item on our agenda is...
Rastafarian, you can't
There's no
eat
business under
fish.
special service district councils, and there's no business under new business. So the next item on our agenda is announcements and adjournment. The docketed agenda for this meeting of council having been completed, Chair will now entertain motions for adjournment.
Mr. President.
Chair recognizes Councilor Mowry.
Mr. President, I have been asked to offer the following motion for adjournment by Councilor Osling in memory of Thomas Ridley, James Toller, Wayne Schmidt, John Gentry Jr., James Amaneki, Robert Ransom, George Levi Sutton, and Jewel LaRue. By Councilor Mallory, in memory of Michael Tibbetts and Larry Haney. Mr. President, I would like to move the adjournment of this meeting of the Indianapolis City County Council in recognition of and respect for the life and contributions of those persons I have here specifically named. I respectfully ask the support of fellow councilors. I further request that the motion be made part of the permanent records of this body and that a letter bearing the council seal and the signature of the president be sent to the family of each person advising of this action.
Thank you, Councilor Mowry. Hearing no objections, the motion is received and the request is so ordered. Hearing no further motions, we're adjourned. Thank you, councilors.
So if you know which one can't, it's not allowed to eat fish, put it down in the comments. You know, the only reason why well, I mean, obviously because I like to report of what's going on in the back. What's that? I think I know who that is. Is Larry Vaughn. I'm always curious of what sign that he has too. And as far as I know, what happens with Larry Vaughn is that he'll ask if there's going to be a public comment or not. You know, if there's not, then he just leaves. But Larry Vaughn in action is always the best. So that wasn't so bad, right? Only an hour. Sometimes they're like an hour and a half, and they're just dragging on for too long. At least they were quick about it. So the municipal one was today. It was only like 20 something minutes, so that should be pretty quick. And I'll do that one tomorrow. I think there's only today was Wednesday. I think there's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow, but we'll see if it gets canceled because they don't have meetings on Fridays, if I remember right. But until next time.